Network address translation and checkpoint firewalls. Hi guys, welcome once again to this new checkpoint training session. So I have the same topology here where I have my headquarters and that's my central site, the production site, and I have my remote sites, site 1, site 2, and I have a direct connection to the public network. I have connected the checkpoint gateways. So, and I have my the policy management server that would be doing the management of all these three gateways. So let me draw the topology here. Uh, so I have site 1 and site 2, and I have my central site here, and I have checkpoint gateways here that are directly connected to the public network. So this is my headquarters, this is my HQ, and this is my site 1, and this is my site 2. So what I'll do is, and I have my policy management server here inside my headquarters. So from here I'll do the management of the gateway that is directly connected to the internet here, and from the same box, from the same policy management server, I'll do the management of the remote sites as well. So followed by our NAT concept, uh, what we will do is that we will do NAT config, we will do AutoNet or hide net, you can call it. Some of the vendors call it as of masquerade, some call it as of a pat, but Checkpoint calls it as hide net. So all these three has the same meaning. So I have my local network here, which I will do hide net and forward the give them internet access. And similarly, I have my local network in each site. So what I'll do is I'll give them internet access as well using the hide net. So that's one of the steps that we will do. And the next one, we will do URL filtering. We will block certain URLs or categories uh, that according to the company policy. So that's the plan for today's training session. So I have my topology up and running. uh, all the other devices are the same. I have not changed anything into them. So the internal network is 192.168.11.0 at the headquarter site, the central site. The DMZ is 10.010, and the external is 291.330, and the internal of the site 1 is 192.168.10, and site 2 is 20. So this is the basic setup. What I have done is I have removed the previous configs from the policy management server, and the gateways as well. So what I'll do is I already have installed the Gaia OS inside them, and what we will do is we will start them from scratch and do the basic config of it. So let me start these. Let me start them all. So it will take a little time. So this is my policy management server and 3 gateways. So let this boot up. Once it's booted, I'll get back to you guys. So the devices has been boot up. I'll log in to the policy management server. The username is admin. The password is admin123. I'll set the ETH0 interface. This one. I'll assign the IP address of 192.168.11.11. So set interface ETH0 IPv4 192.168.11.11 with a prefix length of 24. And similarly, I will do the same from the same range to the headquarter checkpoint firewall, the gateway. So the username is admin, password admin123, and the IP address is IPv4 11.11 with a mask of 24. So I'll go and for the others, let me assign the IP addresses. Then what we would do is once I have once I add the central the HQ checkpoint gateway to the PMS, then I'll assign a rule that would allow me to be able to connect to the remote sites as well. So let me assign the IP addresses to the to site 1 and site 2 checkpoint firewall gateways. So the admin, the username is admin123, admin123, and the IP address is it's 291.33.100, and for the site 2, admin123, set interface EH0 PP4 291.33.200 mask of 24. So I have my IP addresses being assigned. Let's go to the policy management server. Username is admin, password is admin123. So it takes me to the first time configuration wizard. Next. Next, I'll assign the gateway pointing it to the CP headquarter. That's 192.168.11.222. I do not have ETH1, and the host name that I would give is policy management server. The DNS is once again our internal DNS that's located at 1110, and the time zone. Next, we will uncheck the security gateway because this is our policy management server, security management. We will only check this one. Next, yes. So let's now go to my CPHQ and do the basic config wizard there as well. That's 222. Username is admin, password admin123. next, next. So I have my IP address is IP address 11.222. I will assign the gateway pointing it to my public network here, which is this router 291.331. So that's 291.331. Next, I'll assign the IP address of my ETH1 that's connected to the public network, this interface, and it's once again 222 in this range. So I'll say manual, and it's 291.33222. 255.255.255.0. Next, assign the host name CPHQ, and the DNS I'll point it to my internal DNS server, this one, 92.168.11.10. The time zone you can select according to your location. Next, next. So here I'll uncheck the security management, and I'll check the security gateway here. Next, next. I'll assign the SEC key here. So it's test123, test123, which I'll use at the policy management server to connect it to make the trust relationship. Next, finished. Yes. So I have my configuration wizard completed. Let me go to the management server and see if the API has started. So admin 123. So API status. So yeah, it's good. The checkpoint security management server is running. It has started. The API has started, and the firewall module has also been started. If, for instance, if in case it has not started, you can start it by typing API start, or stop it. API stop by stopping it. So it is started. So let me go to my smart console, and from this PC, I will smart console to the management server, and from there I will add the CPHQ gateway to my PMS. So the username is admin and the password is admin123. So it's asking me for the certificate. Proceed. So as you can see, I right now do not have any gateways. I only have my PMS here. So what I'll do is I will go to and add the gateway using the wizard mode, and the name that I want to assign is CPHQ. It's an open server because I'm using VMware for it, the VMware version of it, and the address is 11.222. Next, and the one-time password that we set, the set password on the gateway was test123. Next. So I have two interfaces configured on my CPHQ. So do you want to edit the properties of this gateway? So for right now I will uncheck this, finish. So I will go and create a network object for my internal network. for this one. So for this, I'll create a network object for 11.0 and perform hide net so they can have internet access. All these clients, including the PMS. So the PMS can have an address from this range. So the PMS can be able to access the site 1 CP and site 2 CP. So let's go and create a network object, and you can create it from this here or from here. So it's up to you where you want to create it from. You can also explore all the available objects from here. These are all the available objects. So I will create a new one and I will name it Q network. I'll name the network so we can remember it. So here is the network, which is 11.0 with a mask of 24, and on the NAT we will select add automatic NAT, and we do not want to perform static here. Right now we will do hide NAT, which is masquerade, or you can also call it PAT, port address translation, and on which gateway you want to install this. We'll select our available gateway, which is the CPHQ, and select OK. So once we create this network object and perform the NAT out the hide NAT, if we go to the security policies and go to NAT section, so we have this hide NAT automatically created here for us under the network hide NAT. So I'll create another host object here for my public IP address of the CPHQ, this IP address, so that I can give access to it to be able to go to CP site 1 and CP site 2 after NAT is being performed. So I'll go to the network, so the object new host, and I'll say the CPHQ public IP, and the address is 291.33.222. Okay, and I'll go to the policy. I'll create a new rule above the cleanup rule. I'll say MGG traffic, and for the source I want to add the public IP address of the CPHQ and the CPEMS, and that's it. To any destination, or I can create another new host objects for my CP site 1 and CP site. VPN, I right now don't have anything, so I will uncheck this. So for any service or any application, I can specifically select the HTTPS, or I can say anything. Right now I would say anything, so accept. I will lock this. So, and I will create another rule above the cleanup for my internet access, internet traffic, and here I'll select my private network to any destination, any service and application, and I'll say accept and log it. So that's, I'll also go to the global properties, and I wanna select the accept ICMP request so that I can be able to ping them. and lock the implied rules as well, all these rules. Okay, I'll install the policy on the CPHQ. Right now I have only one gateway in the standard package. I'll say install. Let's wait for this policy installation to be completed. Then what we will do is we will do the initial configuration visit from the inside host PC or maybe my PC. So we let me open the Windows 10 client machine. I hope you are able to see the diagram. So the installation has succeeded. So let me go and try to ping if I'm able to reach the 291.33.100 CP site 1. I'm able to reach there. So I can reach there. That's a good sign. If we come to the logs of the TMS log and monitor section, and if we check here, I should have some ping packets. The ISMP has been generated from the source address of 11.2 towards the 291.33.100. So a NAT has been performed. The source IP address was this one here, 11.12, and the destination was 33.100. So I will go and do the initial configuration wizard from here. HTTPS that's 291.33.100. Continue the certificate. So the username is admin, password is admin123. I already have a saved a username password for this. I just selected it. So next the gateway right now at site 1 is once again pointing to the R1, which is 291.33.1. I also have ETH1 that's connected to my private internal network, this one. So I'll assign an IP address for it. So the range is 192.168.1.1. Next, and the host name is site 1, CP site 1. The DNS is, I can assign public DNS here, but I want to assign my my internal HQ DNS server IP address, that is 192.168.11.10. Next, you can specify your time zone. Next, I don't want to go with the security management here for this gateway, only click the gateway, and the trust key is test 123. test 1 2 3. Next. So while this is doing the installation and the configuration, we will go to the other one, site 2. The IP address of CP site 2 is 200. Username is admin, password is admin1. Same 291.33.1 R1 this IP address being the default gateway, and my ETH1 IP address is 2.1. Next, hostname is CP site 2. My DNS is 1110. Next, time zone. Next, uncheck the security management on the security gateway. Next, the key is test 1 2 3. Same. Next, and finished. Yes. So once it's completed, we will be able to add it into our PMS from the smart console. So this is right now rebooting the box, the gateways. By the way, you can also for the management traffic, instead of saying any, you can also only say HTTPS. You can only allow HTTPS, and also you need the checkpoint port numbers, the port range, which is you can select each one, the the CPD, or maybe let's say firewall, etc. But I wanna say the complete range, because it's from 11.190 all the way to 19.191. So I can select this as well. So it's up to you right now. I don't wanna go with the specific ones. Later on, I will change this, but you can also do this. So let me check if they have been rebooted. So CP site 1 has been rebooted. Let me go to the smart console. So what I will do is I will add CP site 1, my management server gateway visit, and the host name is CP site 1 server. The IP address is 291.33.100. Next, the trust is trust 1 2 3. So I have two interfaces on my CP site 1. checkpoint gateway, which is the range of 291.33 and 192.168.10. So I'll select them. Don't want to edit the properties right now. Let me also see if the site 2 has installation is completed. No, it has not yet been done. It will take a little while. So let's add the gateway of site 2. Visit mode. So it's my CP site 2 open server. The IP address is 291.33.200. The trust key is test123. So I have two interfaces in this gateway of site 2. E0 is connected to 200 to the public network, and E1 is connected to my private network 192.168.2.0. So which I would accept. Okay, I don't want to change anything in the properties. Don't want to see. So I've added site 1 and site 2. Now before installing and pushing the policies to the gateways, let me give a try of pinging from the internal network of site 1 towards the internet if I'm able to. So if I go to PC1 and if I try reaching, I should not be able to reach. So right now I'm unable to reach there. Now what we will do is we will create an object network for the internal network of site 1. So this will be my site 1 network, which is 192.168.10, and 10. The mask is 24 bits, and I want to do NAT for it. And you can also say assign a static IP address for it. Okay, but in majority cases what happens is that you can do static NAT when it comes to giving access to a specific or a specific internal or a DMZ host that you may give access to the outside. So that's in many cases you do static NAT for, but in this case I would do hide NAT, which is also being referred to as of a PAT as well. So on which gateway I want to install this is for gateway site 1 in OK. I wanna do the same for site 2. Before I leave, I will create another network for site B's internal network, site 2, and the network there is 192.168.20. and this is just a name. I'm just giving it a name. So this network, this one, and mask, I want to do NAT again and install this on gateway 2, site 2. So before leaving this, I want to do a couple of more things. If I right click on my central site or HQ gateway, go to edit, and network. And right now I have not pulled the topology, the interfaces according to the topology. So if I want to get the interfaces with topology or without topology, if I say without topology, I would manually have to mention or allocate my interfaces either to being internal or external or public network, or create create a zone based on the policy of the company, based on the design that I have got. So right now I want to say get the interfaces with topology. So and accept I have two interfaces right now configured on that gateway. So 192, it took it automatically. It understands that this is the private range and this is the public range. That's why it allocates it in a different zone thing. But what you can do is you can also edit it. Like for instance, if it takes it different or not based on your need, you can come here and modify it. So this is my internal network that right now it has taken. If I want to override it, I can override and say, okay, this is not the internal, this is the external, which is connected to the internet or the public network. Or if I say this is internal, but this is not defined, do not define it. Or if you want to define it, do not define it. Define it based on the IP and net mask. Or if let's say let's say this is directly connected to the DMZ network, then you would have to check this. Just check this box. If let's say you want to say, okay, I don't need any one of these, then I want to create a separate zone manually, where I may have 2, 3, 4 DMZs, I may have hundreds of inside networks. I want to create different policies for each zone. So then you would have to come here and select this specify security zones. You can select based on the you can select these zones as well that are automatically there: external zone, DMZ zone, internal zone. Or you can create your own new zone and just name it. Okay, whatever name you want to say. Maybe let's say DMZ or DMZ1, DMZ2, DMZ3, whatever. So right now I don't wanna change anything because I have a very simple topology. So I have this DMZ which I will do. I have one web server here which I will give access from outside to this DMZ, and I will do NAT for it. So but by the way, right now I have not even given IP address to this interface. So it's not configured, and the smart console and the PMS is unable to pull it as well. So it's disabled. That interface is right now disabled. So for the time being, this is I'll leave this to the internal network as it is, and I will uncheck the zone and press OK. OK and OK. I'll do the same for site 1 and site 2. So edit site 1 network. So I'll pull all the interfaces with the topology, and it automatically understands which is the private range and which can lead to the internal, which can lead to the external. So why do you basically need to put them in internal or external or maybe zones or specify zones? Then later on what you can do is you can come here to the security policy, and then from the source here what you can do is you can specify, let's say, zones, and then these zones are created, or maybe I create new ones. So you can select each specific zone here, or let's say maybe network zone, or maybe an object that's a host object, or if it's a network object, and then you can specify whatever policy you want to allow, permit, based on whatever, based on source, destination, port, service, application, and maybe URL or content filtering, whatever you want to do. So right now, just wanted to show you why do you create that internal, external, or maybe zones, etc. So for site 2, I will go and edit again and pull those interfaces. It says failed. The trust has not been created. Let me go to the general properties and see if I'm able to. So it says trust is established, but let me reset it and say test 1 2 3, test 1 2. Sorry, initialize, then okay. So it has two interfaces. Whenever you see this anti-spoofing feature, which is, I hope you do know the anti-spoofing, which basically, if let's say from any network, or maybe majority cases, like let's say somebody comes in from outside and pretends to the checkpoint gateway that have come from the inside, and it should respond back. So normally what happens is that the attacker, or maybe the initiator or the intruder, uh, would spoof the private network, or the network that is trusted to this box would change its address and pretend to the gateway that I'm from inside, and trust me. So you can disable the anti-spoofing feature on each interface. And how you can do it, you can do it like by going to each gateway, edit, interfaces. So let's say for each interface you can do this thing. So, and you say modify, and this you have to make sure that you check this, perform anti-spoofing based on the topology. So for some of the interfaces, you may have enabled it, for some not, but if it's not enabled, you can do it that way. So let me see if I've pulled the interfaces. No, I have not. That's why it gave me an error. So I'll pull it, and so now it automatically checks that box by preventing the anti-spoofing feature. So I'll say okay. And if I go to the security policies, let me check here. And if I go to NAT, I should have three objects. One is for the object network for site HQ site, central site, which is 11.0, and I have given internet access from any source, and I've translated them to the original destination, which is my outside IP address, and I'm doing pat for it. So this is for site 1, and this is for site 2. If I come to the policy, so right now I've only allowed internet access for my internal HQ network. So what I can do is I can add the two sites, the two objects of site 1 and site 2 that I just created, internal networks, so that they can also be able to go from the private network to the outside, or maybe to a specific destination. So right now in Smart Console, what I would do is I will add them as well, site 1 and site 2. So now they can go to any destination, using any service or application, and I'll accept and log it for all the gateways. or if you have hundreds and thousands of gateways and you want to install it on a specific one or a specific group, you can come here and select them manually. And one more thing before I publish and install this policy to all three gateways, what we can also do is, for the management traffic, if you tons of or maybe hundreds of gateways or uh, um, checkpoint sites, then what you can do is that instead of adding them one by one or saying any destination, you can come here and create a new object group where you can add all those gateways or maybe PMS, etc., or maybe you have clusters. Then you can add them manually here, and that would be easy for you. So right now, if I see I have my site 1, or I have my PMS. I want to add this. I want to add my public IP address of the site 1, which sometime would have access, and I want to add site 1, site 2. That's it, I guess. For the time being, that's it. Yeah, that's it. And you can just name it like let's say my MGMT group. Let's say management group. Yeah, this is management group. So now instead of adding them manually one by one, each one, and for small environments, like if you have 2 3, like in my case, like you have three gateways and one policy management. So in this case, you may not need to create groups, but if you have tons of them, tons of sites, or maybe hundreds, then in that case you would need to concise your policy management uh, or the access control section, or maybe NAT section, or any other section. So that I would prefer that you do. So for the destination, I will once again select the same. Don't want to go for any destination. So to make it granular, I will proceed on and publish and install this. So right now things look good. So if I go and install the policy, I guess I did check that I'm unable to reach. Yeah, I'm unable to reach the public network right now. So if I do this, I should be able, after this installation of the policy to the gateways. So I have all three gateways selected. I'll install on all three because I've made changes to all of them. So it's just taking a little time. So while this is doing its job, let's do one more thing. Let's assign an IP address to the DMZ interface of my CPHQ. So I'll go and access my IP address, which is 11.222, and the username is admin, the password is admin123. You can do it from console as well by saying set interface ETH2 IPv4 and you can also do it from here. So because I have ETH2 interface here, or you can come here, which is quite easy. So right now I have this interface which is not yet configured, and it's down. So I'll enable this interface and give the address of 10.0.1. in 0 network and 222 IP address. So it's 10.0.1.222 with a mask of 24-bit. Okay, if I go to the smart console now and edit network management, so right now I have two. If I pull it again, no, sorry, the CPHQ network management, and so I have one other interface, that's this one. So it also by default considers this as well as the internal, but I wanna change this to another one, to be a DNZ. Yeah, this is once again internal to me, but it's not connected to the external or internet. So I'll check this interface leads to the internal DNZ, and okay, and okay. So before I publish this again, let's go and check if I have internet access to all my 3 locations. I want to check the clients from inside that are able to reach the internet. I want to check the site 1 that are able to reach the internet public network, and site 2. So I'll go and start with the internal one. So I will ping it. I will give a ping and browse from the Windows 10 client. And I'll also do it from my client PC1 from here, and client PC2 from here. So I already have given IP addresses to them. So it's taking a little time. Windows 10. So let me go from PC1, this one, try to reach now. I'm able to. Yeah, so you can see I'm able to ping the Google DNS IP address, and if I come to my browser, should be able to browse as well. Now to google.com, so I'm able to reach there. If I go from client 2, so from this PC to the public, if I try reaching it, not from ping, so I'm able to reach from there as well. So I try browsing it in google.com. So I'm able to reach from there as well. If I try reaching from my client PC, which is this, from the internal HQ, so I think I do have, because of the icon below. I try reaching 8888, so I am able. And if I browse, browse Google, I'm able to browse it as well. So that's cool. So I have given them internet access. The next thing what I would do is I will do static net, and what I will do is I will give my DMZ web server, this one, I'll give access from outside, that people from outside be able to reach uh, this this uh, this web server. What I will do is I will give a static IP address. I'll assign a static IP address from this range, which I may have, and I'll check the available IP address from the 200 range. I'll give it 223, 291.33.3. So whenever traffic comes from outside to 291.33.223, so the traffic is being netted and forwarded to the web server, to this IP address of 10.0.1.1. I've already installed the XAMPP server on this web server, and let me just make sure that the service is running before I configure static net and redirect traffic from outside to the DMZ. So if I go here to my web server and manage servers, so I have to make sure that Apache web server is running. So I'll start this service, and then I'll go to Smart Console, and I'll create a new entry for this, for the web server, new host, and it's my DMZ web server, and the IP address is 10.0.1.1. so if you come here, this is 1.1, and I will do NAT for it, but this time static NAT. And the static NAT, the IP address that I'm gonna assign is 291.33.223, and install this on HQ. Okay, so before we publish this, if you come to the security policies, NAT, you should have a static NAT here as well, machine static NAT, that is being created under the machine static NAT. So we will go and install and publish this. Yeah, install. Now I should have given access from the outside to my DMZ web server. Then I should have pushed and installed the policy, but no problem. We can come and create a new rule above or below the internet traffic. So what I'll do is I'll right click here and create a new rule above, and I'll call this web server traffic. You can name it anything. The source could be any here. The source should be anybody coming from outside. The destination should be DMZ web server. You can allow any traffic or specific traffic. In this case, I will allow only HTTP and HTTPS. So HTTP, HTTPS. So I'll allow, and I'll lock it and install again. Install. So once this is completed, we should be able, what we can do is I can use this web server as well from outside to be able to access it, or maybe let's access it from another site. Let's access, because anyways it will come from the 200 network, which is once again the public network, because once it gets out of the site 1, the IP of the internal gets translated to the 291.33 range, specifically the 100 IP address, and would come to this network. Then this guy would redirect it to the web server. So let's use this client, the PC1. So if I say HTTP 291.33 and 223, the IP address what we gave. So if I browse now, so it says welcome to the XAMPP Apache distribution server. So I'm able to access it. If I come to the management, so smart console, if I go to the logs and monitors, I should have access from the outside to this. So from site 1, we just accessed I should have it here somewhere. Sometimes it takes a little time to, yeah. So this is the web server traffic which has been generated from the site 1, with this source IP address, source port, and the destination was this one, which was 223. If you say more here, 223, and this was at the DMZ zone, and the service was HTTP, and we did NAT for it, specifically destination NAT, which was static one, and that's how you do it. That's how you do NAT for your hide NAT for your internal users, and that's how you do for DMZ. And thank you very much for watching.